Hello everyone, and welcome back to English Learner Classes.
Hi friends, we are really glad you are joining us today.
Today, we have a very special topic for you.
Yes, today we are talking about how to learn spoken English and how to become more fluent in your speaking.
This is one of the most common goals we hear from learners. They can read English, they can write English, but when it comes to speaking, they freeze.
Or they speak, but they feel slow, unsure, and like the words just will not come out naturally.
If that sounds like you are in exactly the right place today.
We are going to talk about what spoken English really means, how it is different from written English, the techniques that actually work, the mistakes to avoid, and the mindset you need to become a confident English speaker.
And we're going to do all of this in simple, clear language at an intermediate level so that every learner can follow along and use what they learned today.
So, let us get into it.
First, let's talk about something important. Spoken English and written English are not the same thing.
Many learners study grammar books and textbooks. That's good, but textbook English and real spoken English are often very different.
In a textbook, you might read, "I would not have considered that option under normal circumstances."
But in a real conversation, a native speaker would say, "I wouldn't have thought about that usually."
Same meaning, but one sounds natural in speech and one sounds like you're reading from a formal document.
Spoken English uses shorter sentences, contractions, and more everyday vocabulary.
It also has a rhythm. It has stress. It has pauses. It has fillers. It sounds completely different from written English when you hear it out loud.
So the first step to improving your spoken English is to start listening to real spoken English, not just reading it.
Podcasts like this one, conversations in films and TV shows, YouTube videos, real interviews, real talks.
The more real spoken English you hear, the more your ear gets trained to understand it, and your speaking will start to follow.
Now, let's talk about the biggest reasons learners struggle with spoken English.
Reason 1. They're thinking in their native language and translating in their head before speaking.
By the time the translation is ready, the conversation has moved on, and the learner feels left behind and embarrassed.
The solution is to start building English thoughts directly. We've talked about this before. Think in single English words first, then phrases, then full thoughts.
Start labeling things around you in English throughout your day. That's a window. I'm cold. I need coffee.
Simple thoughts, but they train your brain to work in English without going through your native language first.
Reason 2, they are afraid of making mistakes.
This is the number one barrier to spoken fluency for most learners.
And we understand it. Nobody likes to sound wrong or be corrected in front of others.
But here's the truth. Every fluent English speaker made thousands of mistakes on their way to fluency.
Mistakes are not signs of failure. They're signs that you're trying. And trying is the only way to improve.
When you make a mistake, you learn something new. When you stay silent out of fear, you learn nothing.
So, make the decision today that you will speak, even imperfectly, especially imperfectly.
Reason 3. They don't practice speaking enough.
Many learners spend hours reading and listening, but very little time actually speaking.
But speaking is a physical skill. Your mouth, your tongue, your breath all need to learn the movements of English speech.
Reading and listening build your understanding, but only speaking builds your speaking.
You have to practice the actual action if you want to get better at it.
Even if you're alone, speak out loud. Describe your day. Talk through your thoughts. Read sentences out loud. Practice conversations with yourself. Your voice is a muscle. Train it every day.
Now let's talk about the techniques that actually work for improving spoken English.
Technique 1 is called chunking.
Chunking means learning English in phrases and groups of words, not individual words.
When you learn the word look, that's useful. But when you learn the phrases look forward to, look into, look after, and look out for, that's far more powerful.
Phrases and chunks are the building blocks of natural speech.
When you know common phrases, they come out automatically without thinking. That's what fluency feels like.
Make a list of common phrases you want to learn. Practice them until they feel completely automatic.
Phrases like, I was wondering if, it depends on, as far as I know, I'm not sure but, and by the way, all appear constantly in real conversations.
The more of these chunks you know automatically, the more your speech will flow.
Technique 2 is called the shadowing method.
We've mentioned this before, but it's so powerful it deserves to come up again.
Find a short clip of a native English speaker talking, a YouTube video, a podcast scene, a film scene, anything where the speech is clear.
Listen to it once to understand the meaning, then play it again and speak along at the same time.
Try to copy exactly how they speak, their rhythm, their speed, their stress, their pauses.
You're training your mouth and your ears at the same time.
Do this for just 5 minutes a day, and after a few weeks, you'll notice a real change in how natural your English sounds.
Technique 3 is recording yourself.
Choose a topic and speak about it for 1 minute. Record yourself on your phone. Then, listen back. Notice what went well. Notice where you hesitated, where your pronunciation was unclear, where you lost your sentence. Then, record it again. Try to improve just one thing from what you heard.
Over time, listening to your own recordings is one of the fastest ways to identify what you need to work on.
Most learners avoid this because they don't like hearing their own voice, but that discomfort is actually a very useful signal.
It tells you exactly what to improve, and once you hear yourself getting better, it becomes one of the most motivating things in your learning journey.
Technique 4 is practicing set phrases for common situations. Real conversations often follow patterns. The way you greet someone, the way you ask for information, the way you agree or disagree, the way you buy something in a shop, the way you make a phone call.
These situations repeat over and over in daily life, and if you have a set of phrases for each one, you feel much more confident.
Let's look at some of those phrases now. For starting a conversation, how have you been? It's great to see you. I've been meaning to ask you something.
For keeping a conversation going, that's really interesting. Tell me more about that. I can relate to that. I had a similar experience.
For asking someone to repeat or clarify, sorry, could you say that again? I didn't quite catch that. What do you mean by that exactly? Could you explain that a little more?
For agreeing, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. I couldn't agree more. You have a good point.
For disagreeing politely, I see what you mean, but I'm not entirely sure about that. That's an interesting point, though I'd say, I think it depends on the situation. For giving your opinion. In my opinion, from my point of view, personally, I think, the way I see it.
For buying time when you need to think, that is a good question. Let me think about that for a moment. That is something I have not considered before. I would say...
Practice all of these until they come out without thinking. That is the goal. Automatic, natural, confident.
Technique 5 is having short daily English conversations.
Every day, try to have at least one real English conversation. It does not matter how short it is.
Talk to a colleague in English. Leave a voice message in English. Order something in English. Write a comment in English and then read it out loud.
If you don't have anyone to practice with, use language exchange apps where you can speak with learners from other countries who want to practice your language while you practice English.
Or practice with yourself. Play both sides of a conversation. Ask the question, answer the question. Switch roles.
It sounds strange, but it works. And it's far better than no practice at all.
Now let's talk about the vocabulary of fluency, because understanding these words will help you talk about your progress and your goals more clearly.
The word fluency. Fluency does not mean speaking perfectly with no mistakes. It means speaking smoothly and naturally, even when you make small errors.
The word hesitation. A hesitation is a pause or delay when you speak. Some hesitation is normal. Too much makes speech feel broken and difficult to follow.
The phrase, speak off the top of your head. This means to speak without preparation, just saying what comes to you naturally. I can't always speak off the top of my head yet, but I'm getting better.
The phrase, find your words. This means to think of the right words in the moment of speaking. Sometimes I find it hard to find my words quickly enough.
The word articulate. To articulate means to express ideas clearly and well in words. She's very articulate. She explains things in a way that is always easy to understand.
The phrase, keep up with the conversation. This means to follow and participate in a fast-moving discussion. At first, I struggled to keep up with native speaker conversations, but now it's getting easier.
The phrase, get your point across. This means to successfully communicate your idea to another person. Even if my grammar isn't perfect, I can usually get my point across.
These phrases will help you describe your speaking experience more accurately in English, which is a skill in itself.
Now let's look at common mistakes learners make when trying to improve their spoken English.
Mistake 1. Only studying grammar and not speaking.
Grammar knowledge is useful, but grammar alone does not make you a speaker.
Many learners know grammar rules perfectly, but cannot hold a 2-minute conversation.
That's because speaking is about automaticity, doing things without thinking. And automaticity only comes from practice, not from reading rules.
Study grammar to understand the language, but speak to become a speaker.
Mistake 2. Waiting for a perfect moment to start speaking.
Some learners say, I will start speaking when my vocabulary is bigger, or I will practice when I feel more ready.
But that moment never comes, because the only way to feel ready to speak is to speak. Start now. Start with simple sentences if that's where you are. I like coffee. The weather is nice today. I'm learning English.
Those sentences are completely fine starting points. Every expert speaker started with sentences exactly like those.
Mistake 3 is focusing too much on accent and not enough on clarity.
Many learners worry that their accent will make them difficult to understand.
But accent is not the same as clarity. You can have a strong accent and still be very easy to understand. What matters most is that you stress the right words, that you speak at a comfortable pace, and that you pronounce words clearly enough to be understood.
You don't need to sound like a native speaker. You need to be clear and confident. Those are two very different goals.
Mistake 4 is not listening enough. Speaking and listening develop together. The more natural English you listen to, the better your speaking becomes.
Your brain learns patterns from what it hears. The vocabulary, the rhythm, the sentence structures you absorb through listening all feed directly into how you speak.
If your speaking feels stuck, one of the best things you can do is increase how much English you listen to every day. Podcasts, conversations, films, songs, audiobooks, all of these help your speaking even when you're not speaking yourself.
Mistake 5, giving up too quickly.
Progress in speaking English is not always visible from day to day. It happens slowly and then suddenly. You practice for weeks and feel like nothing is changing. And then one day you have a conversation and realize the words are coming out faster, more easily, more naturally.
That's how language learning works. The growth is happening inside, even when you can't see it yet.
So don't measure your progress day by day. Measure it month by month. Compare where you are today with where you were 3 months ago. The difference will surprise you.
Let's now do a short practice together that you can use as a speaking exercise.
We're going to ask you some questions. Pause the episode after each one. Answer out loud in English. Don't translate, just speak.
Question 1. What did you do yesterday? Describe your day in 3 sentences.
Question 2. What is one thing you're good at? Explain why.
Question 3. What do you want to achieve in the next 6 months? Be specific.
Question 4. Describe someone you admire. What do you admire about them and why?
Question 5. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? Explain your reason.
How did that feel? Were some questions harder than others? That's completely normal.
The questions that feel hardest are the ones that will teach you the most.
Go back to those questions and try again. Each time you answer, it gets a little easier.
That's fluency building in action.
Let's close with a message that we really want every learner to hear.
You are not too old to become fluent. You are not too busy. You are not too far behind.
Spoken fluency is available to every learner who is willing to practice consistently and with patience.
The learners who succeed are not always the most talented. They are the ones who show up
every day and keep going, even when it's hard.
You are already doing something right by being here and learning with us today.
Keep going, keep speaking, keep believing in yourself.
Thank you so much for watching English Learner classes today.
Don't forget to subscribe to English Learner classes for more easy and practical English lessons.
Keep learning, keep improving, and see you in the next lesson.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.